On June 10th, 2025, what began as a regular Tuesday morning at Bundesoberstufenrealgymnasium Dreierschützengasse in Graz, Austria, quickly turned into a day that would haunt the nation. Students and teachers arrived expecting another ordinary day of classes, unaware of the tragedy about to unfold. At exactly 10 a.m., the sound of gunshots shattered the calm, sending shockwaves through the school corridors. The familiar environment of learning and laughter was instantly replaced by confusion, fear, and chaos as students and staff scrambled for safety. The attacker, a former student armed with both a pistol and a shotgun, moved methodically through the building. He targeted classrooms and hallways, leaving a trail of destruction and heartbreak in his wake. The school, once a safe haven, became a scene of terror. The assault was swift and merciless, injuring and traumatizing students and teachers alike. Emergency services rushed to the scene, working desperately to save lives and comfort the wounded and terrified. In the aftermath, Austria mourned its deadliest school shooting since World War II. The entire country was shaken to its core, united in grief and disbelief as communities gathered to honor the victims and support the survivors. The school, once a symbol of hope and opportunity, was transformed overnight into a place marked by sorrow and loss. Memorials grew outside its gates as people struggled to come to terms with the tragedy. The Graz tragedy forced Austria to confront a harsh new reality. Violence, once thought distant, had arrived at the heart of its educational system, prompting urgent national conversations about safety, mental health, and prevention. As investigators search for answers, the most troubling question lingers in the minds of all Austrians. How could such a tragedy happen here, and what must be done to ensure it never happens again? The shooting's impact was heartbreaking. 10 lives lost, including students and a teacher. The community was left in shock and disbelief, grappling with the sudden and tragic loss of young lives and a dedicated educator. 12 others were hurt, some very badly, leaving families broken and communities in sadness. The emotional scars will take a long time to heal if they ever do. The shooter, a former student, took his own life, leaving many questions unanswered. His motives remain a mystery, adding to the community's anguish. Authorities are putting together his past, looking for clues about why he did it. They are examining every detail, hoping to find some explanation for this senseless act. The emergency response was quick. Police secured the school within 17 minutes, stopping more harm. Their swift action undoubtedly saved lives and prevented further tragedy. Over 300 officers, including special units, worked together to stop the danger. Their coordinated efforts showcased the strength and readiness of the local law enforcement. Medical teams and psychologists gave immediate help, showing how ready Austrian services were. Their presence provided much-needed support to those affected by the tragedy. Still, the deep human cost is a clear reminder of the day's horror. The community will need time and support to heal from this devastating event. The tragedy in Graz sent shockwaves across Austria, leading to national mourning. Chancellor Christian Stocker announced 3 days of mourning, with flags lowered halfway. President Alexander van der Bellen stressed unity and support for the victims' families. The tragedy was felt beyond Austria, bringing messages of sympathy from European leaders. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen emphasized that schools should be safe places. The international response showed the shared sadness and the worldwide need for safety. The shooting started a discussion about Austria's gun laws. The shooter got his weapons legally, raising concerns about rules that might have holes. Austria's high number of civilian gun owners, due to old traditions, is being looked at closely. Politicians are asking for stricter gun control, including required background checks for private sales. The tragedy forces a hard look at balancing gun rights and public safety. The Graz shooting makes this discussion urgent, challenging deeply held cultural beliefs. Lawmakers must handle a sensitive talk to prevent future sad events. The shooter's legal access to weapons shows the gap between law and safety. The Graz tragedy has sparked a nationwide conversation, forcing Austria to confront difficult questions about school safety and the mental health of its youth. Communities across the country are grappling with shock and grief, searching for answers and a way to move forward together. Parents and teachers are now openly questioning whether current security measures and emergency plans are truly enough to protect students. Many are calling for a thorough review of protocols, hoping to prevent such a tragedy from ever happening again. The background of the shooter has also raised urgent concerns about the availability and effectiveness of mental health support for those at risk. Families and professionals alike are asking how warning signs might be better recognized and addressed. Experts are urging the government to invest in more school counselors, mental health resources, and early intervention programs. They believe that supporting students before problems escalate is key to building safer schools. The swift and coordinated emergency response has been widely praised, but it has also prompted a careful review of crisis procedures. Authorities are determined to learn from this event and strengthen their ability to respond even more effectively in the future. Now, Austria faces difficult truths and must make important decisions about how to move forward. Lawmakers, educators, and community leaders are coming together to discuss new policies and reforms that could shape the nation's future. The memory of the victims is a powerful reminder that action is needed, not just expressions of sadness. The community's grief has become a call to do better, to honor those lost by making meaningful changes. As children return to their classrooms, the tragedy stands as a solemn promise that schools must remain safe havens and that the lessons learned will guide Austria toward a safer, more compassionate future for all.